How many times in your life have you had someone use their words to ruin your day? Or how about ruin your entire life? Um, I think that happens a lot and we don't even realize that it happens. Um, think about those times when you were a kid or even now when someone tells you that you're not good enough or you're not going to be able to make this or that or I don't love you and those kinds of things. Well, during the Christmas season, one of these verses came about at church, and I love this verse. It's always been a good one for me. I've talked about it several times, but It's the first chapter of John, and it says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made." Now I know that gets a little confusing there, but let's talk about this for a minute. When he's talking about this, of course he's talking about Jesus, and Jesus is the Word. And in Hebrew, back in those days, they used a particular word uh, for word, and that was logos or logo, like like we wear logos all the time. Now, I believe that this is almost like a stamp of approval from God saying that, you carry his logo. If you're a child of God and you've let Jesus into you and Jesus was the word, he was the logos, then now you carry that same logo. But we allow people and things of this world to come in and completely annihilate. What's the devil here to do? Steal, kill, and destroy, right? Even with his words. Matter of fact, even Jesus said one time to Peter, he said, "Get behind me, Satan," because Peter was using his words in a way that was damning or, discouraging. And he wasn't having any of that. And that's sometimes I think that's what we see in society is, there's this big system of society that wants to normalize you and keep you the same, and everyone has to fit in the same box, but that's not what God intends for you to do. It talks about we walk by faith, not by sight, right? Well, how do we gain our faith? It's by hearing. There's no other way to really gain faith until we hear. And the reason why I'm bringing this about is because how many times has someone invested in you or told you, you know what, I think you could do better things, and you believed it? Has anyone ever done that to you? Have you ever done it to someone else? Because it's true. I If you are a child of God and you declare yourself as a child of God, God wants to see you prosper. So why would he not promote you? You just have to believe in it. And how do we gain our faith? But there's also another part, that worldly tongue. Satan is also in your ear telling you you're not good enough. You'll never do that. You're not even smart enough to even try. Why would you do this? Well, that's just stupid. You're not pretty enough. You're not handsome enough. You're not whatever it could be, And that's not true. You are a child of God. You have his stamp of approval. You wear his logo on your chest for all to see. And it says here, in him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. Now, let's go back to the beginning. God used his words to create mankind, or not mankind, but the world and all the things in it, except for mankind. Mankind was made by God's hands. And mankind was created and brought to life with God's breath, right? His word, his breath. He gave us life through his breath. So then it says the light in the darkness, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. This is the problem that we run into when it comes to becoming Christians, is that we're not allowing our faith to override this part and to step out in the light. And it's because the world wants to make sure that this little light of mine, the world's trying to keep you here, or it could be your family, it could be your friends. I mean, there's something sometimes that the tongue will keep you in a certain box, and you're not made for that box. No one's made for that box, because God's created you not to be that way. He wants to see you prosper, and he wants you to be amazing, because you are. You're a child of God. You are limitless. You are immeasurable by so many ways. So when we allow that negative word in our head, that's Satan talking. That's the world talking. That's not God talking to you. When God talks to you, he carries the logo with him. And you know it's God, because sometimes it doesn't even make sense. And that's God. God plays by his own rules, but he also has the light. And if you change this light and dark to knowledge and ignorance, kind of brings on a whole new meaning. So remember that. Don't let someone else's tongue violate you to being what you're made to be, and that's a child of God, and God wants you to prosper. So get behind me, Satan. Get behind me now. I don't want your word anymore. I want to increase, and I want to prosper in God's name. I love you guys. Bye.